So after this wonderful series of prayers that the Pracetās offered to the Supreme Lord, they finally conclude by saying that even great yogis and mystics who are very much advanced by virtue of austerities and knowledge, and who have completely situated themselves in pure existence, as well as great personalities like Manu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. Notice the words that are used here are Manu, Swayambhu, Bhagavan Bhavascha. So Manu referring to Manu, Swayambhu referring to Lord Brahma, Bhagavan Bhavash is basically referring to Lord Shiva. So even they cannot fully understand your glories and potencies. Nonetheless, they have offered their prayers according to their own capacities. In the same way, we, although much lower than these personalities, also offer our prayers according to our own capability. So in this context, Srila Prabhupada is explaining how offering prayer to the Lord is one of the rights, constitutional rights that we have got. So Srila Prabhupada is writing, nonetheless, everyone in devotional service can offer essential prayers to the Lord. Everyone is situated in a relative position, and no one is perfect in glorifying the Lord. Beginning with Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, down to ourselves, everyone is the servant of the Supreme Lord. We are all situated in relative positions according to our own karma. So what is our perfection then? Yet every one of us can offer prayers with heart and soul as far as we can appreciate the Lord's glories. That is our perfection. Even when one is in the darkest region of existence, he is allowed to offer prayers to the Lord according to his own capacity. And then, after speaking like that, then finally they say that you have no enemies or friends, and therefore you're equal to everyone. You cannot be contaminated by sinful activities, and your transcendental form is always beyond the material creation. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead because you remain everywhere within all existence. You are consequently known as Vasudev. We offer you our respectful obeisances. So in this purport to 42nd verse, Srila Prabhupada explains the meaning of the word Vasudev. Generally, we understand Vasudev as in two ways we understand. One is son of Vasudev and another is the Shuddha Sattva. So here Prabhupada goes into the root meaning of the word Vasudev. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is known as Vasudev because he lives everywhere. So this is another level of meaning of Vasudev. The word Vas means to live. So in that sense, it is similar to the word Vishnu, because Vishnu is related to Vishate, so one who enters into every nook and corner, and therefore Vishnu. So here is Vas means to live everywhere. As stated in Brahma Samhita Eko Apyaso Rachayitum Jagadanda Kotim, the Lord through his plenary portion enters into each and every universe to create the material manifestation. He also enters into each and every heart in all living entities and into each and every atom also. Paramanu Chayantarastham. Because the Supreme Lord lives everywhere, he is known as Vasudev. Although he lives everywhere within the material world, he is not contaminated by the modes of nature. And Srila Prabhupada then quotes Ishopanishad Apapa Viddham to bring out that point. And then afterwards, the Pracetās, like having addressed the Supreme Lord uh, just leaves very quickly. So it is expressed by Maitreya Rishi that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the surrendered souls. So protector of the surrendered souls is derived from the word Sharanya, the Sharanya Vatsalaha. So one who is affectionate to the surrendered souls. So Sharanya Vatsalaha. That's the word that is used for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the surrendered souls. Thus being addressed by the Prachetas and worshipped by them, he responds very, very tersely, very simply. May whatever you have prayed for be fulfilled. That's all the Supreme Lord said. And after saying this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose prowess is never defeated, left. And the Prachetas were unwilling to be separated from him because they had not seen him to their full satisfaction. So in the 43rd purport, Srila Prabhupada brings out the quality of renunciation, one of the 6 opulences of the Supreme Lord in this connection. The word anapavarga virya is significant in this verse. The word an means without, pavarga means the materialistic way of life, and virya means prowess. The prowess of the Supreme Personality of Godhead always contains 6 basic opulences, one of which is renunciation. Although the Prachetas desired to see the Lord to their full satisfaction, the Lord left. We sometimes also find this same kind of characteristic in the representative of the Supreme Lord. Sometimes we want their presence for a longer duration and they just leave very quickly. Very, very simple, similar sort of experience we get. So according to Srila Jiva Goswami, this is an exhibition of his kindness to innumerable other devotees. Although he was being attracted by the Prachetas, he left. This is an example of his renunciation. And a similar renunciation is observed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he stayed with Advaita Prabhu after taking sannyas. All the devotees there wanted him to stay a few days longer, but Lord Chaitanya left without hesitation. The conclusion is that although the Supreme Lord has unlimited kindness for his devotees, he is not attached to anyone. He is equally kind to his innumerable devotees all over the creation. Okay, then what happened? So after the Supreme Lord has left, the Prachetas had concluded their austerities and really achieved success in pleasing the Supreme Lord. So then what happens is that all the Prachetas, they emerged from the waters of the sea. And then they saw that all the trees on land had grown very tall, as if to obstruct the path to the heavenly planets. These trees had covered the entire surface of the world. At this time, the Prachetas became very angry. So, if you remember, when we were discussing King Prachini Varishat's becoming purified in Narada's association, and how upon instigation from Narad Muni, having heard 2 different allegorical stories, one really a large one and another very short one, he felt inspired to leave the kingdom even before his sons came back. And therefore, for some duration of time, there was no one actually taking care of the kingdom. right? And that's why everything had been neglected due to the king's absence. So that's what is described in 44th purport. Now, 44th purport, um, Prabhupada brings some very important sociological points as well. So Srila Prabhupada writes that when they came out, they saw that everything had been neglected due to the king's absence. They first observed that food grains were not being produced and that there were no agricultural activities. Indeed, the surface of the world was practically covered by very tall trees. It seemed as though the trees were determined to stop people from going into outer space to reach the heavenly kingdoms. The Prachetas became very angry when they saw the surface of the globe covered in this way. So why they were angry? Because they desired that the land be cleared for crops. So now the sociological points from Srila Prabhupada. It is not a fact that jungles and trees attract clouds and rain because we find rainfall over the sea. The human beings can inhabit any place on the surface of the earth by clearing jungles and converting land for agricultural purposes. People can keep cows, and all economic problems can be solved in that way. One need only work to produce grains and take care of the cows. The wood found in the jungles may be used for constructing cottages. So Srila Prabhupada is not particularly against the cutting of the trees, but he is against not utilizing the land properly. In this way, the economic problem of humanity can be solved. At the present moment, there are many vacant lands throughout the world, and if they are properly utilized, there will be no scarcity of food. So that is Srila Prabhupada's point. So then what happened is that the Prachetas, they were angry, and therefore, following the lead of Lord Shiva, they started turning the trees into ashes. By generating fire. And Lord Brahma wanted to stop this. So he immediately came to the Prachetas and then started pacifying them. In this context, Srila Prabhupada is writing in the 46th purport that a responsible man in any establishment is always alert to keep peace and harmony within the establishment. Similarly, Lord Brahma is also allowed to keep peace and harmony within this universe. He consequently pacified the sons of Varishman with good logic. So if you remember, we said that there will be a reference to Marisha later on, how she was taken care of by the trees. That's the 47th verse. So the solution that was offered to stop the Prachetas from charring all the trees was to deliver their daughter to the Prachetas. So what is the significance of delivering their daughter on the advice of Lord Brahma? So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport number 47. Yeah, he gives the basic background. And he points out that the daughter of the trees is referred to in text 13 of this chapter, where we saw Marisha got married to the 10 sons of Prachini Varishad, or the Prachetas. This daughter was born of Kandu and Pramlocha. The society girl, Pramlocha, so either Pramlocha can be referred to as the society girl, or you can say heavenly girl. So the society girl is used in a more broader sense, not belonging to the materials, this earthly realm, but overall material world, including the heavenly realm. The society girl Pramlocha, after giving birth to the child, immediately left for the heavenly kingdom. So therefore, the child was left behind uncared for. While the child was crying, the king of the moon took compassion upon her and saved her by putting his finger into her mouth. This child was cared for by the trees. And when she grew up, by the order of Lord Brahma, she was delivered to the Prachetas as their wife. The name of the girl was Marisha. And it was the predominating deity of the trees that delivered the daughter. So that's what is clarified by Srila Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami clarifies that Vriksha Tad Adhishthatar Devata. So Adhishthatr Devata. So Vriksha Tad Adhishthatr Devata. So the trees means the controlling deity of those trees. In Vedic literatures, we find that there is a controlling deity of water. Similarly, there is a controlling deity of the trees. The Prachetas were engaged in burning all the trees to ashes, and they considered the trees their enemies. To pacify the Prachetas, the predominating deity of the trees, under the advice of Lord Brahma, delivered the daughter Marisha. And that's the clarification. So we will continue and we'll see what happens after the Prachetas had accepted Marisha as their wife. What comes next? Just a short section remaining in this chapter. Thank you very much.